Well, nobody told you about narcissism and all the ways in which you can describe what was happening in the relationship. Once you heard about the way these people act and behave, you were able to identify with yourself what was happening. Then you were able to work out why it was happening. Then you were able to work out, but had really nothing to do with you. You were trying harder, you were being more devoted, you were being more loyal, and it wasn't working. Now, I've had women that have been in relationships, and that relationship was paralleled with enmeshment. Completely paralleled with enmeshment. In other words, they were having a sexless, intimate relationship with family members or a family member, usually a golden child or some kind of surrogated child or children. And this enmeshment was taxing from the relationship. We just got a freight train going past in the background. And you could sense that something was missing from your relationship. You could sense it, you could feel it, you were suffering from it, and you began to build up a resentment. You didn't know how to stop it. It wasn't going away as hard as you were forgiving these infantile things that were happening to you. And as you started to break, as you started to feel like you were letting down the person and yourself that you were in the relationship with due to unhappiness and carelessness, possibly addictions and nicotine. A lot of these people are heavy on nicotine. They abuse nicotine, but it keeps them alive and keeps them going. You'll see their facial features going gaunt. And all the stuff that comes with that, all the sickness and illness that comes with that. Of course, that wears people out as you watch their teeth going yellow, their skin wrinkling up. You hear them coughing of a night. If you're there with them, the phlegm and the sickness and the illness that comes with that, add other chemicals and drugs to that, and you've got a cocktail of watching someone that's just destroying themselves, and you're trying to love this vessel, this empty meat suit. What you don't realize is they don't care about themselves. Therefore, they're not going to care about you long term. They might seem like they do, but it's really to suit their need, not yours. And so you put yourself in an environment, you've been bonded in an environment where all of a sudden this person decides that you need to break up, but it's all part of a plan to see how faithful and loyal you are to the relationship. And sometimes these narcs get a shock when the person that they're with goes, yeah, I think I'll get out of this as well. And during their breakup relationship test, they fail. The narcissist actually fails because they weren't as important as they thought. They just weren't important as they thought they were. And this gives the narcissist's ego a bit of a shake. In fact, it can cause a narcissistic injury where the person starts to psychologically turn in on themselves. I've seen this. And if the person's an addict, they become more of an addict. Or if they're a sex addict, they go into extra forms of supply at the expense of your dignity. And these people will humiliate you. They won't let you know what they're doing, but they'll be doing it behind your back. They always have this side of their life that you don't know anything about, that you had no idea was going on. And this devalued you to such an extent that you were starting to have a breakdown, but not a narcissistic breakdown. It wasn't built on ego. It was based on hurt, harm, and these other characteristics that we all try and avoid. A lot of this sin, if you want to call it that, or narcissistic behavior, if you prefer to call it that, in this case, is based upon and built upon selfishness, ignorance, in some cases naivety, in other cases vulgarity, behavioral vulgarity, where you've become the punching bag for the person that's trying to bring you down. So you see, the narcissist finds security in bringing you down. That's where they find security. Holding you down, bringing you down, manipulating you and controlling you for full supply. They need the full supply. And the demons will assist them in this to give them strategies and ways in which they can keep you in a holding pattern of supply until they run you out. Now, I've had these covert narcissistic women try and run me out, but they haven't been able to, and this has become a fascination for them. They go into a pattern of unresolved. They bung on the sex and lift it up, try and break you that way. When you don't break and you're holding your integrity and morality and resolve with that person, and they see that their covert narcissistic feminine ways of trying to destroy men doesn't work, this causes a terrible predicament for the covert female narcissist, and she'll enmesh, triangulate, and try and bring her destruction through a third person because she can't do it herself. And as you realize this, because you're not stupid, you're not naive, you've had life experiences, as you realize this, my advice to you is to detach, separate from this person, go no contact, change the direction of your life, and never speak to that person again.